Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Steel City Motors and another vehicle highlight. We're going to do a few simple ones today, and I really do love some older cars. They're really well preserved and taken care of, and today is no exception. Today we are hopping into this 2008 Ford Taurus SEL. So with my signature little 360, you can see that there's not a lot of cosmetic imperfections going on here for a vehicle of its age, which is pretty awesome. We got these beautiful clear tail lights, which is definitely a plus. The headlights are also pretty clear. You can get back around to them. Very minimal kind of residue on those. As you know, some of the older vehicles do have some residue on those, and these have very minimal. They look very nice, very kind of sporty overall for this vehicle. This is one of the older generations of Taurus, and this one does have leather and a bit more bells and whistles for its generation and model year. On first impressions, you can see that this does have the signature Ford door code situation. It's got two keys with fobs on it, which is always a plus. And it's got a good little bit of things going on the interior. It is a leather interior, and it's got pretty good condition going for it. And the carpet, all things considered, this is an older vehicle, but it just gives me so much nostalgia, and I honestly love that. I'm in my 30s, and to me, just like a nice kind of classic leather wood grain, interior like this, especially if it's kept pretty well, is just a big hit of nostalgia. It's a great throwback, especially the back seat. That is really well kept. Look at that carpet. That carpet is practically brand new, which is really unheard of for something that this is, in this category that's this old. It's got the little latch lower anchor things for your car seats. It's got a nice little kind of center cup holder console that we're going to take a look at. It has got an ample amount of room for different types of storage. This does lock. Got some center console storage as well. A little organizer right there. That's pretty typical of Ford. And of course, we got your little sunglasses holder right here. So everything in here is really nice and cohesive and very functional, as well as the kind of cohesiveness and like old school class that this car has that I really truly love. It's also got quite a bit of things going on in terms of technology for the model year. As I've said, SEL is one of the more higher end trims, which means it does have a few more bells and whistles, from these mirror controls right here to the hood pop, the light controls, and plenty of controls on the steering wheel, which is definitely a bit more unique for the 2008 model year, from the infotainment kind of system area right here to the cruise control. It is definitely ahead of its time in this regard. All right, let's get her cranked up. Nice little crank. And as you can see, everything over here is analog except for this little thing down here, and it does not have, I think, a TPMS sensor in one of its wheels, which is why it's doing that. TPMS sensors are not mandatory, but they're nice to have. However, this does show you that this thing will use a tire pressure monitoring sensor if you so desire, which is a nice option to have. We have got this dual zone climate control, which for an older model year, it's really fantastic to have dual zone climate control, especially with this Alabama heat. It's definitely a lot, so you definitely want to have a little bit more control. Like you can see, you can do different temperatures on the different sides, stuff like that. We have a pretty simple setup here with the radio and the disc changer, as this is a 2008 model, but it's still really nice to kind of have a little layout right here that's very easy to access when you're driving. A 12-volt outlet situation right here, and we do also have another one and an aux access in the console. It's kind of cool to have change organizers in Fords now, and we've also had them since 08 and since older model years. It's just a generally nice thing to have, because gosh knows I have a lot of dang change in my center console and around this little storage area in my own car. Another thing I really like about this vehicle is the attention to detail, like the kind of leather and metal trim that you've got on here. We've got WeatherTech floor mats up front. We've got the carpeted floor mats in the back. They're very nice and clean. As you can see, these are seriously pristine. even for like a newer car, let alone an '08. So to me, honestly, like these cars have such a soft spot for me in general, just because of how everything is configured and how well everything is preserved. Let's jump into the back seat for a nice kind of closer view. As you can see, lots of legroom and headroom, which is always really good for a sedan. I am right around 5'10", and I'm extremely comfortable back here. We've got the aforementioned cup holders, and we've actually got some storage back here. We got a little organizer, which is also really nice. This vehicle just feels a lot more kind of old, classy, and upscale, and to me, I just really love that. We also do have some vents and another 12-volt outlet back here. Duly noted, we also do have manual child locks that we can flip up and down and do all of that stuff even without the key, which is also pretty helpful. And finally, welcome to the trunk of this vehicle. As you can see, this is a 60/40 folding seat, which means you can fold things down, and you've got a good bit of cargo space and your spare tire area underneath. So everything is incredibly easy to access, and you get a very generous amount of room. We have a little bit of a pull tab right here to fold the seats, and they fold buttery smooth. So let me show you what it looks like with them folded down. Once again, pull tab, one finger, super easy. You're not fighting with the seat, and this is how much room you get when the seats are all the way down, which is pretty awesome for a sedan and any smaller vehicle, because this has quite a bit of room in not as much car. So best of both worlds, honestly. Can we also seriously appreciate how easy it is to put these things back up? You barely have to put in any effort to move them at all. All right, y'all, thank you so much for joining me on another vehicle highlight of this 2008 Ford Taurus SEL. Like I said, I have a soft spot for really well kind of preserved and taken care of older vehicles, and this one is no different. From the amount of headroom and legroom to the versatile cargo space and just the way that it's configured, this is a great car for many purposes with a lot of versatility and not a lot of money to be put in. So honestly, it's a win-win, especially if you're like me and you like a nice kind of older model vehicle that's really clean and just a really cool little piece of the past generations. If you want to check out this or any of our other vehicles in person, head on over to 1011 Old Cedar Grove Road here in Moody, Alabama, off of I-20 exit 144. Whether it's A or B, it's going to be B if you're coming from Jefferson, it's going to be A if you're coming from St. Clair. Also, if you're not there already, head on over to steelcitymotors.com and any of our socials to learn more about this and all of our vehicles. Thank you so much for being awesome. We'll see you on the next one.